Hey, it's Deborah Poneman, founder of Yes to Success seminars, where we share knowledge and tools for you to live your ultimate life. So first, I want to say thank you very much for all of your sweet wishes on the marriage of my daughter, Deanna, and her magnificent husband, Jason. I was going to write to each of you personally to say thank you. And actually, some of you got personal thank yous for your wishes. But that was when I had about 100 emails, and then it grew to 200 and then to 300. And when there are about 500 emails in my inbox, I knew you would forgive me if I just said a group thank you, every which was so deeply appreciated. And I absolutely know that your attention on them, having a wonderful wedding and a lifetime of happiness, is what created the perfect night and what I'm sure will be a glorious life for them together. So, and I hope you like the photos, had to share. So, as you've no doubt noticed, one of the recurring themes that you hear very often is that our words and our thoughts not only create a reality, but can even move matter. In fact, I've shared a few times about my near-death experience and how in that space between life and death, I saw positive words coming out of the mouth of the nurse and the negative words coming out of the mouth of the doctor that went right into my body and shifted my body from weakness to strength and then back again to weakness. Remember when the nurse smoked I don't know if she smoked, but she spoke positive words of my good health that was on its way. I saw this light coming out of her mouth and entering my body and returning my body to strength. And when the doctor expressed concern that I wasn't going to live, I saw his words enter my body and drain my life force. And if you've seen the movie What the Bleep, you'll know that science has actually confirmed the power of our words and our thoughts and verified that if we think of and see the world as a fearful place, we infuse fear into the fabric of creation and we increase the vibration of fear for everyone. But if we see the world as a loving place, and if you look with the intention to find it, you can always find the love. Then we infuse love into the fabric of creation and contribute to a more peaceful, kind, and loving world. So I recommend that at this delicate time in creation, we become aware of the power of the words and thoughts that flow from us. And instead of sitting around talking about the terrible things and how it's only going to get worse, talk about the world you want to see. Talk about a world where the people are loving and kind and there's unity and acceptance and non-judgment, a world where we have compassion for people who are misguided because they feel powerless and their egos are threatened. Now, I'm not going to tell you that if you do that, that the people who think the path to a better world is to cause chaos and harm are going to, suddenly all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. But what we put our attention on grows not only in our own lives, but we give it energy. That's the law of attraction. And who knows, I've seen some really rough people end up singing Kumbaya. So why, this is law of attraction 101. Why would you think that it doesn't apply here? Now, also, this doesn't mean that we hide our heads in the sand and act like we're in the middle of Camelot, because we're kind of not, at least on the obvious level of creation. But envisioning Camelot will do a lot more for your own happiness and peace of mind, and thus, as you radiate out, more for the future of our world than continually putting your attention on the hate and the chaos, which is what you're contributing to when you complain about it and talk about it with your friends. Speaking of friends, my dear friend Marcia, who's different than cousin Marcia, I have a lot of Marcias in my life, Marcias and Marcies, love them all. My friend Marcia Bell forwarded to me a message about this from the angelic realm that was channeled through a wonderful angel communicator named Ann Albers. You've probably heard of her. She wrote numerous books like Love Letters from the Angels and Whispers from Spirit or Whispers from the Spirit. And this is what she shared in the message that Marcia shared with me. I'm going to read it to you. Didn't memorize it. You will not assist your world by joining in the chaos. You will not assist your world by any stance of righteousness, judgment, or superiority. You will not assist your world by trying to force light into anyone else's darkness. Instead, just be the light, be the love, be the peacekeeper. Be the one who gets up in the morning and appreciates your pillow for cradling your head at night. Love the soap and the water in your shower. Love your breakfast. Give thanks for your home. Give thanks for your family. Pet your dog. Praise your children. Appreciate your partner. Then pray, dear ones, for all human hearts to be uplifted. Pray for the hurting to be soothed. Pray for the fearful to feel God's love. Pray for yourself to be at peace. When you look at someone, imagine the spark of light in their hearts growing brighter and brighter until you imagine them glowing with light. Telepathically whisper to each soul you see, whether in your physical presence or in the media, you are loved. Do this for all souls, not just the ones you agree with, for all, regardless of their beliefs or their behaviors, because you are all sourced from the very same light. And as you silently bear witness to the inner light, you help others remember who they really are. As you telepathically whisper to souls, you send a vibrational wave of love to them, which their soul will energetically interpret and feel. Your emanation of love might be the one that calms the hurting heart of a person who is about to become violent. Your telepathic whisper might be the one that soothes a soul who was in such pain that they were preparing to exit the planet by their own hand. Your love might be a wave of peace that lifts a spirit before they fall into the depths of despair and resignation. You may never meet these souls. You may never know them. Nonetheless, in the depth of your shared essence, you are connected and your love matters. Wow. Beautiful, huh? I love that. I love her. And how do you know that, for example, what's going on right now, especially in the political arena in the US, as unsettling as it seems on the surface, is not leading our country to new and glorious heights, because this purification has to take place to make way for the light. You know, the proverbial darkness before the dawn. One of you, after one of my previous Success Saturdays, asked me how I could possibly look at the good when not only are people still losing their jobs and they can't feed their families and they're still getting COVID or crawling their way out of having had COVID, and gun violence is still rampant, not to mention that our very democracy is in peril. It always reminds me of the famous quote from Napoleon Hill, who said, "Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." Know the truth of that. It has to be a blessing, even if it doesn't feel like it, or it wouldn't be happening, because the nature of life is to always move towards more and more. Again, I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, even in my own life, but I trust that it's the truth. As the great Byron Katie, founder of the work, says, everything happens for you, not to you. You don't have to like it. It's just easier if you do. I remember another woman in one of my Yes to Success programs several years ago who lost her job in a nonprofit that downsized, and she was devastated. It was her dream job. She was despondent, and fortunately, she had the Yes to Success community to pull her through, but she tried and she tried and she tried to get another job in her field, and it just wasn't happening. So as a last resort, she just decided to start her own little nonprofit in the same arena. I think it was for special needs kids. And within a few years, it exploded. And she was making 3 times as much salary and having 100 times the impact. It dwarfed the impact that the first nonprofit was making. But remember, These things might not happen in your timing, but they will happen in perfect timing. Trust that. It's impossible to judge any moment or event because we can't know the ultimate outcome. Sometimes seemingly tragic events lead to unknown blessings, and other times our best moments are followed by trauma. We just don't know what's next. So during the good times, give thanks, and during the painful times, give thanks. And know that this too shall pass. And it wouldn't be happening if there wasn't an ultimate blessing. We can only see what's in front of us, but there's an intelligence that has the 36,000-foot view who's got this one. So hang in there, my friends. And when we give thanks, instead of going into why me or putting fuel on the fire by catastrophizing everything, when we give thanks, the good will reveal itself much more quickly. So I invite you to use the power of your attention to see a glorious future for our planet, filled with grace and unity and love and compassion for all. If you're not going to do it for yourself, do it for the planet and the generations to come. And I give thanks for all of you. Have a great week.